Alright, so today we're doing something a little bit different. Recently, Outdoormaster were kind enough to send me their Pro ski waxing kit. And I thought I would take you through the journey of me learning how to wax my skis. Like most things that I show on my channel, this is just me showing you that an average Joe with a little bit of determination can learn how to do something new and enjoy the process. Last winter, I only had my skis waxed twice, which certainly isn't enough. So this kit that Outdoormaster has sent me over has basically everything that you could ever want or need to maintain your skis. And I'll be honest, there's more in here than I know what to do with. So we'll take a quick look of what's inside. So you get 3 different waxes, all for different temperatures. A plastic and a metal scraper, a nice Scotch Brite pad and some deburring tools for your edges, a bolt set for snowboard bindings, more P-Tex than I'll probably ever need. We don't get a lot of core shots here in Hokkaido, being that the snowpack is so deep, but it's in there in case you need it. Rubber bands for holding ski brakes back, 4 different diamond stones, and an edge tuning tool. You've got a brass brush, nylon brush, and a horsehair brush. A proper ski waxing iron, which is important. It's got temperature adjustment on it so that you don't burn your bases. A super sexy apron so that you don't get wax all over yourself, which is fantastic. And lastly, it all fits in this nice little bag. Now, I am not here to tell you that this is the best ski waxing kit on the market. There are certainly better kits out there, but that's kind of the point. Most of us aren't chasing microscopic performance gains. We just want to ski, have fun, learn a new skill, and save some money by doing things ourselves. The whole point of this is to show you that if you're looking at getting into waxing your own skis, you want to save a little bit of money, you definitely can do it. And this is a kit that has everything that you could need and more. It should be an option that you consider. Let's head downstairs and see how we go. So first things first, unfortunately I forgot to put my sexy Outdoormaster apron on. And by the end of this whole process, I was absolutely covered in wax. So learn from my mistakes. Most of us don't have a full tuning setup sitting at home, so this little makeshift station that we threw together works totally fine. The first step is super simple. Use the rubber bands from the kit and pull your ski brakes up out of the way. Just watch your fingers because the brakes can snap down with a lot more force than you'd expect. Now if your skis are dirty, this is when you'd hit the bases with the brass brush. Mine weren't too bad, so I did a light brush just to get any loose stuff off before waxing. Next up, heating the iron and applying the wax. I'm using the -4 to -14 degree wax, since that matches the conditions here in Niseko right now. Each of the wax blocks have the recommended iron temperature on the label, so it's best to run with that temperature. And here's what I've learned. Waxing is very much of a less is more kind of thing. My first time, I used way too much wax, and you probably will too. That's totally fine though. You're not ruining anything by doing this. You're essentially just wasting wax and making more scraping work for yourself later. Once the iron is heated, the way that I apply the wax is just by touching it to the iron and letting it drip onto the ski. If you see the wax smoking, your iron is too hot. And don't worry about covering every square centimetre with wax drops. You'll eventually spread it out in the next step. Do this on both of the skis until you're happy, and then put the wax down. Now we melt everything in and spread it across the bases. It's important to keep the iron moving the whole time. You don't want to leave it sitting in one spot or you risk damaging your ski base. I start with moving the iron in little circles to melt the drops, and once they've spread, I switch from slow, steady passes from tip to tail. You should see a trail of melted wax behind the iron when doing this. If you don't, you're moving too fast, and if you missed any spots like I did, just drip a little bit more wax on and smooth it in. Once both skis have a nice, even layer of wax on them, turn the iron off and let the skis cool down. Now everyone has a different opinion on how long to wait for this, but down here in the basement it's around -10 degrees Celsius, so an hour is more than enough. This next part isn't required, but because it's dark and my ski bases have this kind of weird pattern on them, I used a light just to check I didn't miss any spots. And now, the moment of truth, scraping. This is where you'll find out if you've used too much wax. Just run the scraper along the ski base from tip to tail, and you'll see the excess wax coming off. I actually did pretty well this time, and didn't have a mountain of wax shaving off. Every now and then, clean the edge of the scraper so it cuts properly and continue scraping. Eventually, you'll reach a point where no more wax is coming off, and that's when you're done scraping. After that, grab the nylon brush and start brushing from tip to tail. You'll likely see a fine dust coming off, and that's just the extra wax that the scraper didn't catch. So do this until there's no more dust coming off. And finally, we finish it off with the horsehair brush. Same direction, tip to tail. This is what gives the bases a nice polished feel. You can do this until your heart is content, and when you run your hand over them, they should feel super smooth. The final step, take your rubber bands off your brakes, and that's it. Freshly waxed skis, ready to hit the slopes. It's really that easy. Now just for comparison, this was the day before I waxed my skis, and I had pretty much no wax left on them. All the Sasa bamboo bashing I did the weekend before did me absolutely no favours, and then the temperature dropped by about 10 degrees throughout the week, so it dried out my ski bases. Can't even turn. Whew. Wow, let's just straight line it. The more I go in the power, the more I slow down. I had absolutely no fun on this run. It took me almost 45 minutes to ski from top to bottom for what is essentially a 3-minute run. I went home. I missed a perfectly good powder day because I didn't have my ski bases waxed. Obviously, even if you're a total beginner, waxing your skis will make a huge difference if your bases were as dry as mine this day. If you're like me and you prefer to save money over paying someone else to wax your skis, learning to do it yourself is the way to go. There you go, should have used my Outdoormaster ski waxing kit last night rather than going to bed early to get up to go skiing, because that's just a complete waste of a day. I guess we'll do some waxing now. Now we'll check out the following day after I waxed my skis, and I was lucky to still get some power. Oh man, skis feel so much better with some wax on them. Woohoo, it's blower today. Wow. Look at that. Yeah! Alright, so it's been over a week now since I waxed my skis, and I'm here to give you some good news. It probably sounds scripted that I arrived at the ski resort with no wax on my skis and completely wasted a 50cm powder day, but I am honestly not kidding you. I got there 45 minutes early and was on the first chair, first time in 4 seasons that I got the chance to ride the first chair. And yeah, just completely overlooked the fact that my skis weren't waxed and I could not ski. Completely by pure chance that is what happened. I knew I should have waxed my skis before going that day, but I just didn't have the time. And I didn't think it was going to make that big of a deal. But yeah, I basically wasted a powder day and I was extremely mad about it. And the first thing I did when I got home was film this video and wax my skis. So this kit has definitely done what I have needed it to. I was skeptical about the wax coming into it. I know there's a lot of different quality of waxes, and generally the more you spend, the better performance that you get. So I was prepared to possibly have to buy a better quality wax. But after skiing for the last week in bottomless powder, we've had icy groomer days, we've had spring slush all within the last 7 days. Happy to report that I've had actually no issues at all, and I'm going to continue using that -4 to -14 degree wax for the rest of the season until we get to spring. And I actually look forward to doing it more often, and I know that I'm going to get faster and more efficient at doing it each time that I do it. As I said, I'm not trying to tell you this is the best ski kit out there, but if you are looking at waxing your own skis or servicing your own skis, this is certainly an option that you should consider. So if you're thinking about picking up this kit or anything else from Outdoormaster, there is a link in the description that you can use, which will give you 15% off. And it also gives me a little bit of a kickback to help support what I do here on the channel. And as always, if you have any questions about the kit or anything else for that matter, leave a comment in the description below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.